So in this next video, I'm going to be showing you like how to paint stylized flowers. Now you probably would find a lot of tutorials on this. I don't really focus on this in particular, but I think it's worth knowing how to do it. And I think it's worth knowing how to paint in that style. This is something that I did not do when I was at art school. Funny enough, they didn't focus on it. We focused on the more traditional compositional view of painting, and then we went straight to acrylics. And so yes, I'm going to show you a bit of both. There is room for both, I think. So in my setup, I have my watercolor tray here. So what I like to do is I like to buy like transparent colors like these. You can get different sets, of course. You can use, you can get a pan set. I like these. They can dry out quickly. When you do buy a box, just make sure that it says transparent watercolors on the box. A lot of the times, in my experience, sometimes people just buy tubes like this and they don't realize that it's gouache paint. Gouache is a more flat color. It's used for something like cartoons and poster paint. Totally different. So make sure that it does at least say watercolor or transparent. That's the best. Now you get different brands. I am partial to particular brands, but I'm not here to promote a particular brand or advertise one, and I haven't been asked to do so, so I'm not going to mention any, but you do know the famous brands. This is not a very expensive brand. This is actually a cheap one that I found in the stationery shop, but it works as well. So what I like to do is I like to put my colors in these little corners over here first. Okay, now you can get the little set that you can buy as well. And this is what we call like a mixing tray. So basically you put your color here and then you mix it here and you mix it here. Now, for the next thing I like to do is I'm talking about the brush sizes that I'm going to be using or not using. So I like to keep round brushes for watercolor. Sometimes they do come with a little plastic cover like this. Keep your plastic cover over here. So make sure that it's a round brush. Round brushes are ideal for watercolor paint. So the brush sizes I'm going to be using today, or not using today, is 16 and 8 and 12 and 0. Now, a couple of things I want to note about today also. Have your tissue paper and your water tray set up. Now, usually I mention this to most of my students. If you are on the right-hand side, right-handed, usually keep your things on the right-hand side. If you're left-handed, keep all your things on the left side. Any kind of imagery, that side, that side. So today I'm going to be using not really watercolor paper, but it's just cheap variation of textured paper. Do not use like computer printout or anything like that. That won't work. So I'm using some kind of ordinary textured sketch paper. The reason for that is because I'm going to be doing practice painting. So I'm not really going to be doing something fancy. So now what we're going to start with is your memory muscle. So I'm going to be taking my brush size. Let's go with this size and dip it in the water. And I want to start painting like petals. Now what you want to do is, if you have a few brush hairs that are loose, one of two things you want to do is you want to trim it, I know, or you want to kind of push it into a point like that. And then heavily do it like that. So, okay. Now I'm going to start mixing some brush hair. Now what I want to do is I want to practice certain lines. So I'm going to go like thin, thick, thin, like that. So again, watch the angle of your hand, hold it like you would hold a pencil. So thin, thick, thin. This is pretty good actually for reeds or like longer petals. So I'm going to be doing kind of just basics like this. Very, very basic. Okay. So before you change your color, make sure that you wash your brush. And the next thing you want to do is practice with the petals. So basically what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my crimson red and I'm going to make like brush strokes like that. You kind of want to go like this, there. Try again. Form the brush, kind of do that. So this takes a lot of practice. Even for someone like me, this took quite a few practice, and I'm still learning. So these are ideal little tiny petal flowers that you could use. Tiny petals that you can kind of do like this. Let's do another one. I'm going to go this side. Okay. So now I'm going to switch to a different brush. Let's take out my size 12. So I'm going to do size 12. So this time I want to do the same, but I'm going to be doing like 3. So let's start anywhere over here. This is just a practice paper. Right. What you kind of want to do is that, so the movement of this piece here, you kind of glide it and you control the hand, your hand movement from your wrist to your elbow. There we go. So 3 petals. So I'm going to do another one. Like that. And then like this. Okay. And then a third one kind of going like that. Okay. And you can, of course, add another color. So make sure when it's kind of wet, you can drop in another color. See what it does. Just have some fun with these. Okay. So another one you can do is a rose, basically a rosebud. So basically when you do the rosebud, it's from an aerial view. So I'm going to do it like this. When you start, you kind of do kind of like little rosette rings. What you want to do is, I'm going really fast, kind of do that. And then kind of go like that. So you start kind of small, and as you go, you're going to go this way. And then I'm going to go much lighter, like that. And then you can go even lighter. Wider with your brush. That's a rose. So basically one example of one. You could do another one facing a different angle. Again, I'm going to use my crimson red. Again, I'm going to start quite small. Then I'm going to go around like that. These are actually quite fun to do. And if you did ceramics, you could possibly even do the same. Okay. So that gives you a clue how to do one of those. Now there's another one you can do, which is like 2 petals. So I'm going to change this one. Don't know if I have space here. Let's move it up. So, okay, I'm going to use, let's give it a bit of a different color. Mix a bit of violet. There we go. Let's see. You could kind of do that. You could do another one, kind of practice like this. These are just practicing brush strokes so that you could practice muscle control or muscle memory. That's one way to do that. There we go. Not very fancy. So I'm going 3 ways, but I'm not letting go. So I'll find another space over here somewhere. Let's do another one. Just very quickly. So as you can see, I'm moving my brush, going back, going for a third one, and not letting go. Okay, like that. And then leaving it to dry. So these are basic petal forms. Now there is another version you can do for leaves. So I'm going to pause this for a minute and get another paper. Okay, so I updated my paper into a new piece of paper now. And I added some extra colors. I added a yellow green and a deep green. So again, make sure that you wash your brush, change your water if you need to, and then we're going to start. So basically for a leaf, I'm going to start with this again. A simple kind of thick and thin lines. So you kind of want to start up and then go down and then go like that. So that's one way to do it. Okay. Now another way to do it is, let me take another color quick. You kind of do it like this, where you go up, but now you're going back like that. So it kind of creates that thing. So what you want to do is you want to go there and then kind of back like that, and taper it off like that. So nice way to practice a leaf. Okay, that's one side. So do a couple of these. You start off small, press it down, and then kind of go like that. Stylized leaves. So if you want to do like one leaf, but you kind of want to do it like this, and you go like this again, and kind of do it like that, and it had that little space. So I'm going to show you again. You do one, angle it like that, and then go like this. Stylized leaf. And then you can do another one which goes like this. Like that. Okay. So if you don't like that gap, you can kind of close it. So I'm going to do another one here. Again, just show you this way. Kind of go like that. And now I'm going to go like that. So it's a solid piece. More solid. Like this. And then like that. And then stroke it like this. And then like that. There's 2 ways you can create this. Okay, so now if you want to have like a branch, different ways you can practice your branch. Okay, sorry about that. Temple near me. So practice your lines. So again, brush control is very important in this case. The way that you hold your wrist and your elbow can adjust it. So now if I'm doing like a couple of brush strokes like this, a couple of lines, this is great for grass or for branches. So if I want to do like this kind of thing, I'm going to do like a branch, and then I'm going to do like That's a basic reed. Okay, or I could do something like this. Oh, someone does not know how to sing. Okay, that's a bit of a blooper there. Let's try another one. Okay. So let's do another one. Okay, so I'm going to do one over here. So let's do this one like that. And then you can turn your paper if you want to. Sometimes looks better. So let's go slow. So I think I'm going to do this one first, just to show you. Again, stylized. Okay. So do about 2 of those. Then I want to go and do these ones. So you can kind of do it like this. Do one side and the other side. Do one side and the other side. These are very easy and simplified. Okay, so these are kind of twigs and leaves, and this is the other paper, of course, that has now dried. So, okay, if you want to combine that, then let's do another exercise quick. So to get practice with more floral flowers, I'm going to be doing different kind. Okay, so for this one, it's more of a, get a bit of a red going. Again, this is a very old paper. I'm not going to use a fancy new paper. So kind of what you want to do is kind of just, you can have like something to that effect. Wow, picked today. Okay. So I'm just going to be playing around with different kind of flowers. Okay, not really paying attention to much detail. So I'm going to start another one. Okay. So I'm going to go here, kind of do that, do my other petal, maybe do like trim paper, kind of do one going like this, and going like that. It's not perfect. Okay, I'm going to be doing like a single flower, like the one I just showed you again. So let's do that again. Okay, I'm going to wait for that to dry. Let's do about 2 of these. These are kind of like little buds. So before you add any other color to them, just wait for them to dry first. In the meantime, I'm going to be moving on to different ones. Otherwise, if you want to do like tinier flowers, you can kind of do this. Where you would have like a bush or something. Okay, so go. Kind of do something like this. Something like that. Okay. Or, okay, so when that's about semi-dry, you want to add your petal color to the bottom, and then you kind of stretch it out, go like that. I'm doing this really quickly, so if you want to, you can kind of pause the video or practice on your own, just to give you a couple of examples. So now I want to do like a kind of like, I don't know, carnations, not a carnation, sorry, because I call them cosmos flowers. I don't know, you know. So you kind of want to do like this. And you want to kind of do like another petal like that. And then maybe like the third one like that. So practice your brush strokes. Okay, so I'm going to wait for that to kind of dry first before I do anything to it. And then move on to the next one. So if you want to do like, what was I going to say, a pansy. I think it's called pansy. And kind of do this. Do one here. Go all around. Kind of do another layer here. Okay. And this is still kind of semi-wet. So you can take a bit of blue and just pop it in there. These are fun to make. And just kind of watch it go. So this is wet on wet, something you might want to do really quickly. Okay, so this is kind of dry now. So again, I want to add the bottom. So I'm going to go very different. You can do this wet and wet if you want to. And then just kind of pull it to that effect. Okay, so that gives you a basic of that. Other kind of flowers that you want, you know, the smaller ones, either like lavender or like kind of, you take the side of your brush and you kind of do that, dribble it, helps quite a bit. Okay, so these are the few things you could do. Another one you can do is slightly more stylized, like a daisy. So go with the petal, kind of round. Note how I'm kind of doing it. This is one that's going to go up and kind of down. Kind of do this thing. I'm actually using the wrong color here, so you can use like a brownish color, and you can kind of, okay, if it's too strong, you can kind of just do, okay, mix like a light color and then kind of go like that. Yeah, okay. Let's do another one for practice. Find a space. Again, I'm just using any kind of paper. For practicing, and I suggest you do that. Unless of course you're making a card for someone or selling the item. Most videos will tell you to do like fancy. I'm just, look, if you're practicing, honestly, use practice paper. Okay, so that's a better one. So I'm going to wait for that to dry a little bit, and then I'll probably go back to it. So that's going one down. So you can do another one where it's kind of daisy, more like this. Again, And you can kind of turn your paper around to get this effect. Okay. And this effect. And I'm just playing around now. Okay, also be prepared to make mistakes. It's not always going to be the way that you think. Okay, so that's more dry. So I'm going to give that a bit of a color there. Let's mix a bit of brown. You can, of course, get brown from a tube, or just mix all the colors together. Okay, oh, that's running a bit too much for my liking, sorry. But it looks better. And then I'm going to be using like a slightly lighter color. There you go, much better. Okay. This one is going to be in the middle, like that. Okay. So these are just different flowers that you can use and practice on. I think I have space for one more. Let's do one more. Find a space. I might be overlapping something here. So double petal, kind of do like that. Maybe go like this. So I'm doing one side like that. And then I'm doing like another side going like this. Uh-oh, don't have space. And the top one over here, you kind of want to do a little bit shorter. That's going to be your center there. Okay. So these are just practice rounds of the different things that you could do. Very easy, very simple, very stylized. I'm not a particular fan of it, but I think it's worth knowing how to do it. So, quick, easy tutorial. I went really quickly. I suggest you do practice this on your own several times, and then when you're ready, we can do a composition for this.